Yep.
Like that?
Yep. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hey, I've Got an Idea. I am Luke Lessashamed Williams, and this is my brother.
Mason tailsteak Williams.
Cool. So, this week, as you may have caught from last week's episode, this week will be restaurant. We are designing a restaurant today. Mason.
And we put the rest in restaurant. Like, you can go there and rest in our restaurant. And puts the rest of the restaurants to shame.
And they are going to want to rant about how good our food is.
Well, they have to. They can't rest.
Yeah.
Also, there's an ow in there.
Yeah,
AU.
that's with. So
I was assuming it was the periodic table symbol for gold. Because this idea is gold, baby.
Mm-hmm. We have, in our noggins, yet to be expressed, the collaborative effort of a golden restaurant opportunity for you, our dear listeners.
Not Golden Corral that already exists.
Right. This is more of a golden opportunity.
Yep.
In case you're thinking maybe, if they pitch something pretty good, might invest.
Venture capitalists, angel investors, get your listening ears on.
Here we go.
I don't know why you took them off, but for the love of God, put them back on.
Yeah, because we got the good shit for you right here.
We got what you need, babies.
All right. So, where you want to start on this one? Because I got an idea or two, but
okay, I have a central concept, a theme that I think we want to go with.
All right.
A building where people go in and they receive prepared food, which they eat there in the building in exchange for currency.
Okay. That's what you got, and then what happens?
Well, I mean, like 3 to 6 hours later, they poop it out, I guess.
Okay.
But that's really not something that we deal with.
Okay, but
this restaurant will have no restrooms where that occurs.
They leave.
They leave.
And then after
we let them leave so that they can earn more money and come back and give it to us again.
Okay.
For more.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my revolutionary hat on. It's actually a tricorder hat.
What? No, it's revolutionary. It goes through revolutions.
That too.
Revolving?
I've actually got it on a small motor, so it's spinning. It's very, very quiet. It's got lots of ball bearings. But
cool.
This revolutionary hat, I'm gonna go ahead and just take that concept, say we don't need any of that.
You're not really yes-anding me here. You're no insteading.
I figure. Let's
That's
really
just what we do on this podcast. Most people will yes and we done changed the game. And now like we're all about the no insteading.
Okay, here's let me give it this instead. Okay, let's take like 5 minutes to talk about this idea where we just straight up throw out that very fundamental set of initial rules. One might say, partial definition of a restaurant. Let's see if we can shake that up. If that doesn't go in a direction we like, we bring that back and we start over. Okay? So let's take it from the top. What you said was
building. That was the first thing I said, so we're scrapping the whole concept of a building.
Yeah. Second thing.
Open concept kind of
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing, people.
That one's gonna be kind of hard to get away from, but all right. I
mean, I guess it could be a restaurant for dogs. So where they come to receive food.
Yep.
Food, I think we can strike that out.
Yeah.
In exchange for currency. And this is the one where I think we're going to have the most luck getting rid of it, because we can just do barter or make whoever comes in, they eat the food, they're like, that was tasty, what do I owe you? And we're like, no, you got to pay it forward. You got to cook the meal for the next person who comes in. You can't leave until that occurs.
Yeah.
So, like, your fee for the meal you just ate is to prepare a meal for the next person. And then that frees us up to run away.
I see. So you're saying this is, like, now turned into a pay it forward, but with food.
And there's no building, so it's, like, out in a field somewhere.
All right, so
somebody shows up in the field, and we're like, here, have this meal, and they're like, so tasty, what do I owe you? And we're like, you are now obligated to stay in this field until someone else wanders by, and you have to make them a meal.
Okay, now, here's the thing that's kind of funny about this, is that one would think that just, like, wrecks that's not gonna work. But there's hipsters out there that are looking for the next big food trend that I swear to God you could make that marketable.
Some dude with a waxed beard and 3 scarves just jizzed all up in his jaw.
He's going by on a unicycle. One of those old-timey bikes with the big wheel unicycle. That's actually a bicycle.
Like a fixie unicycle.
Yeah. He's going by this field. He sees a person standing just dead staring him go by in the middle of the field. And he's like,
oh, this seems hip. I'm a hipster. I gotta go check this scene out.
Oh, do I dare? Could that be the restaurant concept discussed on Hey, I've Got an Idea? Episode 3? I must. And he just kicks off of that vehicle,
the unicycle, the unipod,
and charges forward, saying, "Please take my labor. I want to be the one in the field. Let it be me."
He was into our podcast before it was cool.
Yeah, he actually had the idea before we did.
Yeah. So he shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'll have the chef special." And the dude is like, "We are in a field. There is grass. I have prepared a lovely soup."
Okay, now that's kind of interesting because, like, I like the setting of this. Because when you talk about like open concept, like fresh air dining, you're in someone's garden. You're maybe at a stand at the beach. You are not in a field like at the side of a road.
Well, that's why we're so revolutionary.
Yeah, this is just like, you see something going down at the side of the road, you assume that people are up to no good. And then,
like, there's grass, there's like pebbles, there's bugs, all coated with a visible layer of car exhaust.
Yeah. And someone's
Nummy
like,
num num.
Someone's like, soup? Soup goes here?
And here's the thing. It will be the greatest goddamn soup you've ever had.
I mean, it has to be.
You wouldn't think so.
All right, but barring this actually, like, taking shape with, like, plausible means, I mean, I like the pay it forward with food idea, that it's like, maybe if we just scaled that back to, like, it's a dinner party, but if you went to the dinner party, you have to host the next one. Sort of like the Fight Club rule of if it's your first time, you have to fight.
Well, now we've got like a viral thing going on, because typical dinner party, you're going to have more than one person. So you invite 3 people to your dinner party, then next cycle around, you got 3 dinner parties. They're going to have 9 people, and so on.
But I mean, that's something that can't be regulated. It's not like until someone else comes along, you need to stand exactly here with food and hope that someone comes along to eat it. It needs to be like, okay, well, when I have time to invite some friends over, then I'll do the dinner party.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we're enforcing any of this.
And then if that's the case, it then is just like a bunch of people have dinner parties. They may or may not have started from this original concept.
I think that's already a thing.
Oh, just people having dinner parties?
We've successfully invented something that already exists, which is to say the concept of having someone else over to your house. So we need to go more specific. We need the branding.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need that Williams Brothers branding on there
Ooh,
that says this is our thing.
Let's find a way to monetize this. Let's like how.
Well, I thought we were getting away from the whole idea of currency, but I guess there could be some other way to generate funds. Like maybe we sell tickets to people who just want to watch the first people eat.
Okay, I'm just gonna take this whole bramble bush of ideas that we've had. I'm just gonna pluck it out of the ground, toss it in this little oil drum, throw a lit piece of paper in there, and I'm gonna turn us around from that.
Well, now this is perfect now because I got my can of beans and I can cook it over this barrel.
Hobo restaurant.
While I play my harmonica, and
no, this is actually my next idea. Hobo restaurant takes place on a boxcar. It's mostly canned food, unless it is something that was just killed. No, that's dumb.
So again, are we trying to appeal to the hipster demographic?
I mean, I hate that the hipster demographic is like, so long as it's weird and dumb.
Well, no, like they're ironically appropriating hobo culture.
That's just uncomfortable.
Okay. Let me hit you with something.
Okay.
You know what's hot right now?
I do know a few things, yes, but
escape rooms.
Okay.
Okay. So here's your thing. You pay your wad. You come in with your buddies, and you're like, okay, we need to figure out this puzzle. And like, not only is it figuring out puzzle to like get the key to unlock the door, but also however many clues you uncover, however many things you get, that's like food that you're finding.
Okay.
So if you're a complete dumbo, and you rolled up with your crew of dumbos, and you're
that
like,
is the politically
I think this is the McDonald's, and then you inadvertently get locked in a room, an hour later you haven't figured out any of the puzzles, we take your money, you don't get any food, bye-bye.
You were too dumb to eat here, sorry.
You're too dumb to live and or eat, yes.
Right. Okay, so here's what here's my feedback for that idea. I like the idea of there being a room, a time limit, and people needing to collaborate on puzzle solving to get any of it.
I tell you what I love is the idea of, if you're too stupid, we take your money and give you nothing. Like that I think is performing a public service, really.
Well, what I think would be a total bitch for this is especially if you took like a date here and like...
Okay. Oh, can you imagine like bringing a first date, you roll up and then you're like, hey, this is fun, and then like an hour later she's pissed off at you and you haven't gotten her any food, and then you're like, well, that was all the money I had for our date. Will I see you next weekend? And I think the answer is going to be no. Like I don't think you're going to have sex with this person.
Yeah, it is. It's like you thought that you uncovered like this breadstick thing that was food, and you just gulped it down real quick, and then it's like, oh no, that had the key that we needed. You ate the key.
Also, it wasn't a breadstick; it was a real stick.
Actually, and in fact, it was actually just the key. You just ate the key for no reason because you were too hungry. You are too dumb for this room. Why did you do that? And now nobody else gets to eat the next part because you can't unlock the next puzzle stage.
And like, you know what? Joke's on her, because that dude was actually a very sensitive and giving lover, and she's never gonna know because she can't see past his stupid mind.
Good. She's never gonna know.
She's never gonna know the depths of his affection or the size of his penis, which is very large.
Should have just went to McDonald's.
Should have just went to McDonald's. She could have had sex with Grimace.
I didn't expect it to go there. But here we are.
Well, I mean, Grimace, again, very sensitive, very caring lover, not too bright.
Bit of a dumbo.
Bit of a dumbo.
Grimace the dumbo.
Very large purple penis. Just monstrous. It's huge.
It is tucked in there somewhere, though.
Somewhere. He's got a sheath.
I think it just sort of retracts in, and then the opening just sort of, like, covers over.
Partially prehensile, which is very appealing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can just kind of wrap it around. Yeah. So moving on.
Must we?
I wouldn't say must, but I'm going to say should.
Well, I mean, we are back to a restaurant concept, I think.
What,
which
because
is
of
the idea that
Grimace's prehensile penis?
Well, yeah.
Come let him feed you from his giant purple pants tentacle. He doesn't wear pants. I'm being silly.
Well, it dispenses bisque.
Okay. Yeah, let's not do the giant purple penis thing. I mean, okay, we could do like food tubes. Like come suck on these food tubes. Got a bunch of them.
I like tubes.
Who doesn't like tubes?
Tubes are great.
Tube-themed food. Macaroni, cannelloni.
Sure.
That might be all of them.
Well, no.
Too baddie.
Yeah. A carrot with a hole drilled through the center of it.
Yes, also a tube. You could make that a tube.
Like a zucchini with a hole drilled through the center of it.
In fact, quite a series of long vegetables that
pretty
are
much anything that'll take a drill in. Yeah.
All right. I mean, there's something to that. Maybe just a theme of tubes
or drilling.
Oh, the internet is a series of tubes.
Oh shit! Yes.
So it's, I've always wondered if like an internet meme culture restaurant could actually survive, and it's like, yeah, but no. It's like,
well, you've got like geek bars and stuff, right?
Yeah, but those
where you'll be like, oh, I'll have the health potion, and it's a cocktail with like 3 liquors, and it costs $15.
No, cocktails was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, we can't have cocktails in this restaurant.
Can't talk about that. So, but no, that's true. But it's always like the person who owns and or runs a geek bar is like, a middle-aged guy with some business savvy, but mostly wants to like make a place that will be attractive enough for his stepson to actually come and visit him.
Like, Todd, I'm just trying to connect.
Todd, I did look. There's that esports.
Let me in, Todd.
Look, that you can see. I'm streaming something on the TV. There is that a Twitch thing? I don't know.
Okay, so hang on.
It's not loading. Actually, Todd, can you help me set that up? Because it's not loading.
We need to appeal to an underserved demographic, right?
Right.
Because jock bars, like places where you go to get wings and look at a football, those already exist.
Yes. A few of them, yeah.
A nerd bar we were talking about just now. Nerds, like, they're already catered to. Hipsters, we talked about them. They fucking get catered to all the damn time.
Yeah.
What is an uncatered to demographic? What is a subculture, a grouping of people socioeconomically that are underserved by the restauranting business as it is at present before we blow the hinges off? Like, what is a group that needs our help restaurant-wise?
I don't know, because me living in Toronto, I've seen it all for restaurant concepts, and I've seen every demographic attempted, and I don't know how you make it specifically really good for one demographic that hasn't been touched yet, because any demographic that doesn't already go out to eat, you're not going to convince them with,
well, like, we're not going to get any ethnicity, I think, because most of the ethnicities already have their own restaurants, and we're not going to get the mixed race people because fusion restaurants, that's already a thing.
Are you going somewhere with this?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I was getting worried.
Well,
I was worried you were gonna pitch like a whites only restaurant or something.
Well, that absolutely was not where I was.
I mean, that is,
now that you mention
that's just like the country club.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, I mean, we could have like a whites only themed sort of thing where we only serve white food,
right?
Like white bread with Alfredo sauce and mayonnaise. But I'm gonna quash that.
Cool.
Right quick.
I'm down to quash.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only so many ways you can serve a parsnip.
They're good though.
Parsnips?
Yeah.
Ooh, decent.
Gotta
okay.
roast them, then puree them.
So we got restaurants for like people with allergies, people who are vegans, people who have gluten sensitivity.
Yeah.
We have restaurants for people who have like religious concerns, like
right.
Hey, this is kosher or halal food. We even have restaurants that cater to the opposite of that. Like if you specifically want a food that will give you a heart attack, they have restaurants for that shit.
Yeah, I can think of one right now that's closing. I think it might be a lawsuit thing.
That's unfortunate.
The tragedy of that is that it's getting replaced with like a, I'm not gonna shit talk any particular brand, but it's a franchise that's doing just fine, and this was a one of a kind place that's,
That's always
That's
always
it's like I would prefer to get my like 5,000 calorie tray of one of a kind food, please, and then I just wouldn't get that.
Rather than just another Grimace Bisque dispensary. It's like, we have plenty of Grimace Bisque dispensaries. Thank you so much.
I love the Grimace Bisque has it feels good on the tongue.
Doesn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Just roll it around.
Well, I mean, when it's
Bisque.
just gushing right directly onto your tongue, yes.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a good drug slang as well.
Grimace Bisque?
Yeah, like if
Is that like a strain of weed or?
Well, no, because why would it be liquid? I don't know.
Well, I mean, fried Grimace Bisque you get at the country fair. That's a solid.
So we haven't even like gotten to talk about food very much because we're too focused on concept, which I understand that we're focused on concept.
Well,
that's
I mean,
what we
honestly,
need for
the food is not the important part. The atmosphere. Well, like they say in real estate, location, location, location. Like none of those three things is food.
Okay, so we get. Okay, I got an idea.
Do you?
We take a square of land.
Okay, loving it so far.
Square of land that's like essentially like it just. There might be like a park there, but there's like no structure whatsoever. Instead of putting
getting back to the no building.
Instead of a building, we just kind of put up a tent, and then
is a tent not a building?
And then inside the square, there's the tent. That could be a triangle. Inside the triangle of the tent, you can get your food served to you. All spheres.
Spheres?
Yeah. It's a little bit of shape play.
What's that one thing that like Japanese kids will do where they'll take like mud and they'll form it into a perfect sphere?
Is that a thing?
That's absolutely a thing. Hang on, let me look it up.
Okay. But this is what I'm thinking is that like first you're on the maybe you could have the shapes be very thematic. Like you have the square of land and there's a bunch of like cube statues and like
Dorodango,
huh?
Dorodango is a Japanese art form. I'm reading direct from Wikipedia here. Dorodango is a Japanese art form in which earth and water are molded to create a delicate, shiny sphere resembling a billiard ball.
Okay.
It's a traditional pastime for school children. You basically pick up mud and then you turn it into a sphere.
How? Like you pack it,
You'd have to ask a Japanese school child.
Okay, so you pack it, you let it dry until it's solid, and then you just shave it until it's round?
You just perfectly shape it into a perfect sphere. Doro Dango. Like, I literally Googled the phrase Japanese mud orb, and I found, like, these are actually some gorgeous mud orbs.
I imagine they are. But, I mean, that would work better if that was... Okay, so let's switch up the shapes here. All right?
Okay.
You have a perfect circle of land, because that's going to be more eye-catching anyway. It's like, what is that circle of grass? What's going on there?
Well, now, they typically do not give out plots of land in the form of circles. Like, usually when you get some land, it has a right angle somewhere.
Right. So, what I'm saying is, you get a square of land.
Okay.
You got a circle of grass on the pavement. That's yours.
So the four corners are just pavement.
The four corners are just wasted space.
Well, can we rent those out?
They could be lights. They could be lights, like pointed towards the center structure.
All right. Digging it.
So we got square, circle. When you're going past this through this circle of grass, you're passing by some Doro Dangos. And you elbow your companion and you point to them and you say, "Yo, Doro Dang though." I've been saving that one for a little bit, so I figured that was the best execution of that. So anyway, there's a tent.
That's absolutely the best way.
There's a tent.
So yeah, you're like, oh damn, I need me some spheres. Let me roll up in here and see what kind of sphere.
Yeah, I'm interested in this sphere place. I want spheres. And then you go to the center of the circle through all this field of spheres, and then you see a triangular tent, and you're like, okay, triangle, what's going on here? You pass through that. Maybe the triangle, it's like conical but composed of triangles.
Okay.
Then you get on the inside. Any food that you get within there, rectangular prisms, just squares and rectangles and boxes of various...
Well, like all the stuff that you've been proposing so far, all of the concepts, if they can be called that, are geometry based. You seem to be proposing that you want just shapes. And as much as I do love geometry, and the perfection of, like, say, the platonic solids, I do feel that there is more to restauranting and more to food than a perfect rectangular prism. Like, I think we need to establish what this prism is. Like, is it spam?
I mean, that's the thing. The prisms of food can be any foods. They are just shaped.
Via a Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Perhaps. Devices not dissimilar from Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Or possibly a bunch of, like, Japanese school children who we have abducted and we just have them...
to make us some cuboid onigiri.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, we hand them the food and then they form it via their eldritch magics into spheres.
I don't know what you think Japanese school children are... I mean,
how did you do that with pea soup? That's amazing. Can I go home now? No, you can't.
So I have a bit of a, I'm going to call it a concern with your concept there.
That involves child abduction and slavery.
That was the one.
I've thought of that.
Uh-huh. You don't have anything to back that up with, huh?
No, it's just right. I've thought of it.
You're right. I have thought that that's a bad idea. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just let's put a pin in that one. Cause
you want to put pins in them now? Aren't their lives hard enough?
No, I'm talking about the shape place, which is what it would be called.
The shape place, cool. It gets you in shape?
Well, it really doesn't matter what it's called, because so long as you intentionally don't put signage, people will talk about it instead, which is kind of the point.
Well, I mean, you put up a sign and they're just like circle, pyramid, Taurus. Like, what does that mean? Those aren't letters that I recognize. And you're just like, oh, but you will.
So
and they like open up the menu and it's all just like pentagon, hexagon. Like, what?
So here's me putting a pin in that one.
Soup of the day, hexagon.
Because I like shapes. I like the sound of going there. I would like to go there. Okay. It reminds me of there was like this UFO Viet Thai place that I used to go to. It was like the theme was like mirrors and lights or something. It just looked very sci-fi. So like sometimes there's like, that was how we described it. We're just like, let's go to that UFO place. And like that's like we didn't learn its name for years.
Well, it was all in Viet Thai. Like you can't read Viet Thai.
I mean, that is also true.
Which I assume is the language.
Of course. They just fuse them together. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh
my god, like a fusion place where not only the food is fusion concept, but also like the menu and all the language is a fusion of the two languages.
So no one can even know what it... Well,
like,
I mean,
you walk in and...
That's just kind of like a shitty American food thing to do. Like, here's the taco zanya.
Like, you walk in and the waiter's like, Moshi hola.
I mean, that part I like. That could be fun if you literally fused everything about what they do. But it would have to be executed very specifically to pull it off, I think.
Okay.
But let's put a pin in this because I like this idea, but let's maybe come back to it if I don't have a stronger idea with this one. Because I just want I'm hungry for this thing. That this was actually a concept I had from like maybe my like 7th birthday. All right.
Okay. Is it Rainbow Jello?
No, but Rainbow Jello was the shit.
Shit, yes, it was.
So good. I want it right now. Now that you said that. But no.
I would go to a restaurant that just had Jello.
I mean, that's a hot cuisine thing to just jellify everything. Jellies or foams. Who needs regular textures?
I that's kind of a throwback to like 70s dinner party type thing where you would like put salmon and mayonnaise into gelatin somehow and put it in a mold.
I'm just
bring
gonna
that back.
I'm just gonna take this bag of frozen peas from your freezer. I'm gonna add some boiling water to it. I'm gonna puree that in a blender, and I'm gonna skim the foam off the top and put that on your plate. There you go. There's dinner. Like,
like what happens to all the pea sludge?
Enjoy that. No, fuck that sludge. Don't worry about it. Enjoy some.
I want my sludge.
Enjoy some pea foam. Don't breathe too hard. You might actually blow it off the plate. Hot cuisine can get pretty stupid.
You know what was a great hot cuisine place was the Taco Bell in Demolition Man. Can we do that?
I didn't see it.
Oh my god, you need to see Demolition Man, you son of a bitch.
Well, obviously there's a fine Taco Bell in it, so I'm pretty intrigued.
Like, they go to Taco Bell and it's hot cuisine. It's amazing.
Okay, well, I at least need to see that scene. In fact, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just see if I can find it right now, and we'll just pause, and we'll come back from when after I've seen it.
Okay.
All right. You know,
Demolition Man is a very funny movie.
Yes, a few things that I've learned from this. I absolutely need to see Demolition Man. Another thing that's pretty fun about this is I've just got a soft spot in my heart for food design, and like, you know, not food design, what's it called? Food photography, food styling, that's it, food styling. And the concept of having, like, the idea of being able to be on a project where you are in a sci-fi future and get to design sci-fi future food. Oh, shit. That sounds so fun. Like, that's just, I would shit myself with joy right then and there.
Okay. I think we're coming to a consensus here. Like, you were talking about that UFO restaurant, and you're talking about, like, shapes everywhere, and then you talk about, like, you want to do, like, sci-fi food concept shit. Here's my thing, restaurant of the future, and you get to choose when you walk in what kind of future, like what is going to happen based on your actions, what will the future hold? And then when you walk in, they just give you a brief little questionnaire like, do you recycle? What do you do vis-a-vis global warming? Are you a vegetarian? Whatever. And based on that, they say, okay, here's what the future looks like 1,000 years from now. Based on your behavior, welcome to your future. This is what your descendants will eat. And then the chef whips up some shit and he's like, here you go. Because you recycle, the world is a great place. Have good food. And if you don't, Mad Max, here's a fried lizard on a hubcap.
Right. I like the idea of like someone being like, do you recycle? Nah. How do you feel about global warming? Hoax. All right, all this other stuff. And then you get the Mad Max future where you just get nothing. You get like,
well, it's basically
sand.
Punishing you for being a shitty human being.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I kind of like. I like that you're describing more of an interview process than a menu process, which that's a thing I've experienced. There was a place that I went to one time that I specifically went to because I heard that it did not have a menu, and it was actually tragic, but it was one of the most poignant restaurant experiences of my life because it was just like it was an old school Italian guy. And he had extremely dated decor. I was the only one in the restaurant, which normally that would mean that I would, turn tail. I don't tend to stick around for that. But I was told specifically to come to this place. So I sat down, and the guy comes up, and he's like, oh, hello. Yes, very, very good. He's an old guy, like at least 70 or 80.
I was getting that from the voice, yeah.
You want a little bit of red wine? Like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess I could go for something. We got a good bottle open, so I'll be right back. And he comes back, pours the red wine. What are you hungry for? Something pasta maybe, seafood? I'm like, yeah, I think so. You think tomato? I'm like, yeah, kinda. It's like, well, maybe tomato, like a blush sauce, do something like that. Some shrimp? You like shrimp? Yeah, I can do that. Okay, some bread to start? And yeah, I think so. He's like, okay, and that was it. And then he just fed me, and it was amazing. It was like he knew how to do that. It was, it was okay. But the fact that I didn't have to deliberate, that he just kind of did like some low-level, like psychic stuff.
Like an eHarmony questionnaire.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, where he's just feeling the room, and then comes back to sort of like, yeah, okay, I think you want this. It's like, well, I do.
Well, because you kept me here for 3 hours with this questionnaire, now I'm exceedingly hungry. You could hand me packing peanuts and I'd eat it. So yes, this is exactly what I want to eat, by which I mean, please let me eat something.
Okay, so we're kind of coming towards the end of where I would want this to run for, a runtime here. I had one more thing that I was gonna touch on and didn't get a chance to, and then I think we should try and just fuse all of these concepts together into one big spicy jambalaya. All right,
just fuse together like a jambalaya Dorodango.
Fuse everything together. All right, my one last thing that like I've been like literally hungry for this since I thought this might be a thing I would bring up. When I was like 7 or so, we had a birthday that was like hot dogs and craft dinner.
Sure.
And I was thinking, man, I like eating hot dogs. These small, tiny, no-name ones where I could eat like 5 or 6 of them. Mm-hmm. I would love to go to a hot dog buffet and just have all the fixins, cheeses, macaroni and cheese, chips, regular condiments, irregular condiments, all that stuff, but based around a hot dog thing where like you go there expecting to eat at least 8 dogs and you want to make them each taste different. So that
now we would have to have different types of dogs available. So you start out, you pick your bun.
Yeah.
Then you go and you pick your wiener, and there would be like at least 6 or 7 different kinds of wieners on offer.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like even I would think different ways of preparing the wiener, because sometimes you get like a wiener that's been boiled, and some people like that shit for some crazy reason.
Yeah,
and then you got
right.
some that are like grilled.
Yeah.
And maybe one that's been microwaved and it's all exploded. I like that. And then you go, and then you've got your regular condiments, and it's like, here's the ketchup, here's the sriracha ketchup, here's the ketchup 2, here's the mustard, here's the Dijon mustard, here's the Grey Poupon, here's the honey mustard, here's the relish, and like you keep going. There's the chopped onions, here's the chopped olives, here's the chopped artichoke hearts,
here's the
and now
here's the chopped suey.
Yeah, and here's the pineapple. Here's the crab sticks.
Yeah.
Here's the Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
And you keep going, and it's like, here's jambalaya, and you're like, can I just get a bowl of that? No, you got to put it on the dog, eat the dog.
Okay, I think I can do this. I think I can tie all this shit together. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So you're driving down some backwoods country between one city and another. You look to one side, you see the middle of the open field. There's a guy standing there. You're like, hey, dude, what's up? Because you pull over because you're like worried that he's hurt or something, you know, like.
What's your deal?
What's your deal?
What's the deal with airline?
He says, come with me. And he starts leading you like into the woods. But then, like...
Are there, like, will-o'-the-wisps? Are we going into a fairy realm?
Sure. But as you're walking with him, he's saying, like, so, you've been driving for a little while. You feeling kind of peckish? You could, if you could eat anything right now, what would it be?
Turkish Delight?
Turkish Delight? Yeah, Turkish Delight? What would you do for that Turkish Delight? No. That's not the direction. Well, maybe that is the direction that it's going. Because it's like, would you skip recycling for some Turkish Delight right now? And then you get some ethical questions, some like really some stumpers to think about as you approach this destination. There's this circle of grass. There's what were they called again? Duolingos?
Yes.
Yes. You're passing by all these green owls that want to teach you another language. And there's a tent. You go in that. And then there would be a buffet inside with cool shapes. But okay, no. So when that tour guide figure talks to you, he's sort of like talking to you in like a mix of two languages. So you catch the English part, but it's like, I don't know, Spanglish or English, basically. Some other language has mixed its way in there.
Okay.
And then that fusion concept is at the buffet, but they stock the buffet with your answers as you're coming in. Like like he's got like a mic.
Like I was operating on the assumption that he was like maybe going to pick for you what you get at the buffet.
Oh no, he still does. No, he still does.
Okay.
They stock the buffet for you, but the buffet is essentially just what's in the kitchen, and he brings you something. Like, would you like some sriracha ketchup if you were to have that with your hot dog? No? Are you feeling like some old Chinese food right now? Would that hit the spot? Because there's some chop suey in this back room that, you know, I think might be just perfect for you.
Well, now let me pitch you with this hiccup though, this problem. Let's say I pull over, I see there's this dude standing in a field. I walk up to it. Hey, you okay? You like hot dogs? Not really.
Yeah, no. Well, they're still stocking that kitchen with, or that buffet or whatever, with whatever your answers are.
But I just said I don't want hot dogs.
So then he has that's where him being like the master conversationalist will figure out what you want, and then sort of.
What I want is not hot dogs.
No, but he will implant that thing that you want, and you won't even realize that he.
So, like, as we're walking, he gradually brings the conversation back around, inserting, like, phallic imagery subconsciously, until, like, 15 minutes from now, I'm like, you know what? I do want a hot dog.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what? I do kind of want to suck a dick. And then
I do kind of want to suck on Grimace's fist dispensing.
And then you get through into the tent, and Grimace is there, and he's got a puzzle for you to solve.
Is it like a lock on the chastity belt that he's wearing? And you have to solve that, and then it comes off, and then there's just that glorious semi-prehensile Grimace dick. And hot dogs shoot out of it.
And then like, maybe you're there with like 2 or 3 friends, and then he's like, you solve the puzzle. And then like 4 tentacle dicks just shoot straight into the 4 of your mouths.
Can I be honest? This is my dream scenario.
Dream/nightmare? Like you're excited.
No.
You're excited by it, but excitement with an asterisk.
No asterisk. I'm good to go.
You're feeling this one?
I want this in my face
and you're like,
now.
You know what? Grimace is a friendly guy. Would not mind hanging out with him if he was just pumping food in my face and it just happened to come from
either
his dick.
A, we need to get McDonald's to loan us the Grimace IP, or B, and I think this is more likely, we partner with McDonald's, have this whole restaurant concept be their new secondary restaurant chain that they also do. Like, the regular McDonald's would still be available, but then also you would have, like, McDonald's 2, and that's a guy in a field who asks you questions about hot dogs before you have to unlock Grimace's chastity belt and get pumped full of hot dogs.
Hey, McDonald's, is that cool? Could we open McDonald's 2 with this new concept? I mean...
Yo, Mickey D's, hit us up.
This will work, right?
We're good with this, right? Like, you want to go ahead with this? Like, we began our podcast here by appealing to angel investors and venture capitalists, but I think now we've narrowed our focus and we are asking specifically for McDonald's.
We really just need to go ask McDonald's.
We need to ask McDonald's to please give us money to do this.
So after we're done with this call, I think I'm just going to do that.
If you could just send the MP3 directly to McDonald's.
I don't think, that could just be the pitch. Us clambering around.
What's McDonald's email?
That would be r.mcdonald at slipperyd.com.
That sounds about right.
You gonna blast that one off like a rocket?
Yeah.
Like a slippery D.
This is just the best podcast.
I'm so proud of what we've done here today. You've been listening to Hey, I've Got an Idea.
Yes,
we certainly had some ideas. If you liked a little bit of what you heard, or are inspired to maybe respond, there's a few great ways you could do that. For the usual podcast thing, you can like us, you can tell a friend.
Like, don't use a program or anything. Just like us. The fact that you like us in your hearts is enough.
The data of your heart counts, but also so does the online data. And
find a website and find where a heart is and click on that heart.
If you want to do some nice, friendly Grimace 4 prehensile dick fan art and tweet it at us, the acronym for Hey, I've Got an Idea, HIGAI show. Feel free to tweet it there. Looking forward to seeing that. It'll be my new wallpaper, I promise. Swear to God. So I've been Luke.
I'm not changing my wallpaper. My wallpaper's great.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, well, you didn't you draw your own wallpaper? I saw it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's already Grimace.
So we need a thing to think about for next week.
Okay.
What shall we make, oh brother of mine?
What shall we make?
I mean,
you know what?
I think eventually we might have like some ideas in a hat or whatever. But right now, I love that this is just straight up off the dome.
By all means, do not cut that when I was going.
Oh no, that might make it into
key.
that might make it into the song. I don't know, but like I love that we take literally 30 seconds to think up what we wind up talking about for an hour.
Okay, I got you right here.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, you know how we're always sleeping in beds? Let's sleep in something else.
All right.
Something else that human beings can sleep in.
Cool.
Other than a bed.
What is? I'm just gonna, for ease of episode title, we're just gonna call that. We're gonna reinvent the bed for next week.
Well, if you want to be
reinvent sleep. We're gonna reinvent sleep next week. Sleep solutions next week. Hope you'll tune in then. This is Luke Lessashamed Williams, and you are my brother
Mason Tailsteak Williams.
And we will catch you next week. We don't have an ending catchphrase yet, do we?
Suck Grimace's dick.
Suck Grimace's dick. Yep.
Okay, Bob.
Yep.
Okay, Bob.
Yep.
Okay, Bob.
Yep.
Okay. Like that?
Yep. Hey, brother.
Hi, brother. Headphones.
Hey, yeah. Hey, headphones.
If you had headphones, you'd be able to hear me better.
That's true. I have headphones on right now, so I guess.
Well, they're shitty ones. You need better ones, but you don't have better ones because you're giving them away.
That's true. I'm giving some perfectly good headphones away. Why would I do that?
They're
Oaky black sport headphones. They are Bluetooth headphones. They fold up. They're cool. They were gonna be for me, but I don't want them anymore. Just take them. Take my things.
Do they transform into a robot of some sort?
Not even.
Okay.
However, you could potentially, that might be what the contest's about, but you won't know until you go to this website.
Yeah.
higaishow.com/contest. One more time. higaishow.com/contest.
Yes.
You should not delay. You have until April 20th, and then
do this immediately.
And then that's it. That's your last chance to get these
Pause
headphones.
this podcast. Don't listen to the rest of it. Just go to the website right fucking now.
So yeah, check it out. You got limited time, free Bluetooth headphones. You just gotta fill out the thing.
They're perfectly free, completely free.
It's straight from. I'm gonna be mailing them. I will put them in the mailbox myself.
And they also don't have to pay for shipping, right? Like you're gonna pay for shipping?
Yep. So please don't be far away. But also, I guess that's what I'm signing up for, so that's still cool.
Like, if you win and you're, like, in Australia, like, Luke's just gonna have to fill out all that extra thing. Sad.
I guess so.
But if you're in Australia, you can make my brother sad.
You can make me sad if you're from Australia and you listen to this show, but I'm also happy.
Yes.
I'm also happy because you also are listening to the show, so it's kind of a catch-22, I guess. But anyway, please do that. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Next week.